Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. EJ orders Rafe to arrest Tate for Holly's overdose, but Brady's the one who ends up in handcuffs. Wearing a robe, Marlena wakes a sleeping John on the couch. He can't believe he fell asleep before midnight and that he didn't hear Brady and Tate come in. Marlena reports they're not home yet, leading John to assume they're having a whole lot of fun to stay out this late. At the hospital, EJ orders Rafe to arrest Tate. Rafe doesn't want to be hasty, but EJ points out Tate was found with the drugs at the scene. A nervous Tate says he was trying to protect Holly. EJ blames Tate for trying to save his own ass instead of calling for help, which delayed treatment. Tate insists he got there right before the cops did. "I'm so sorry," he says, at a loss. Brady assures him this isn't his fault. EJ not only blames Tate, but his addict parents for allowing their son to follow in their footsteps. Rafe holds Brady back from lunging at EJ. As the DA, EJ declares he will make Tate pay for corrupting and almost killing an innocent girl. "You are going down," he warns a teary-eyed Tate. Hanging up the phone in the bistro, Stefan tells Ava the bad batch of pills came from a shipment they accepted 2 days ago. Clyde wants all the remaining pills off the streets ASAP. After stewing over it, Ava realizes she has people she can call. Stefan thought she cut ties with her family business. Ava had, but once a Vitali, always a Vitali. Stefan wonders what they'll want in return. She's sure she'll find out. Stefan worries the price is too steep, but Ava can't have this on her conscience. After basking in Marlena's love at home, John gets a Happy New Year text from Timothy. John then briefly updates Marlena on his and Steve's dealings with Constantine. Since they have the place to themselves, the marrieds rush off to the bedroom to really ring in the new year. At the hospital, Teresa fiercely defends herself and Brady to EJ for overcoming their addictions, as well as their son for never going down that path. When Rafe says they don't have enough evidence to arrest Tate, EJ counters that there were potentially fatal levels of opioids in Holly's bloodstream. He says Tate committed a felony by supplying drugs that resulted in grievous bodily injury, regardless of his intent. Then, he failed to render aid in a timely fashion. Since EJ decides when and against whom charges are filed, Rafe will do as he says. Teresa explodes at EJ. Rafe says he still needs to question Tate. He will cross all the T's and dot all the I's so if there is an arrest to be made, they can say they followed protocol. EJ allows it, but Brady doesn't want his son to be questioned without a lawyer. Tate says he has nothing to hide because the pills were Holly's. As Tate recounts Holly's recent bouts with drugs and alcohol to Rafe, EJ rages at him. Brady shouts for them all to stop. "They were my drugs and you need to arrest me." Tripp comes out to tell EJ there's no change, but Holly's being moved to ICU. Rafe encourages EJ to go be with his family. He'll take Brady downtown to get to the bottom of this. EJ makes threats to Brady and Tate before heading off. Teresa prevents Tate from intervening as Rafe arrests Brady. At the bistro, Ava talks with someone on the phone named Dom, who will get as much of the product off the street as he can. Stefan asks how much it will cost. She relays it's just a favor, leading Stefan to worry about when Dom calls it in and asks for a moment alone with his mother. When Stefan leaves, Tripp says, "Mom, please tell me you're not involved with any of this." Ava gets defensive, but Tripp has connected the dots. She tries to explain recent events away, but her nervousness makes Tripp think she hasn't cut ties with the Vitalis like she promised. She assures him she has. Tripp knew things were wrong when she didn't try to talk him out of moving to Hong Kong. So, he needs her to tell him what's going on. At home, John worries to Marlena that Brady and Tate aren't home yet, considering it's almost morning. Teresa enters with a sullen Tate and relays that Brady was arrested for Holly's OD. John heads out to the police station, and Marlena goes to get Tate some warm milk. Tate fights with his mother over letting Brady take the rap. When Marlena returns, Tate says he feels sick and goes to lie down. Alone with Marlena, Teresa sticks to the story about Brady relapsing and then checks on Tate. In the interrogation room, Rafe tells Brady he doesn't buy that the drugs were his or that he would sell to minors. Since Rafe hasn't put anything on record, Brady can change his story. He'll need to be there for Tate when EJ comes for justice. Brady knows EJ only wants blood. So let him have mine. EJ's hand shakes as he gets coffee at the hospital. His chest heaves, and he winces as he tries to gain control. He takes deep breaths until he steadies himself, then rushes off with a scowl. EJ finds Stefan on the loading dock. "You did this to her," EJ growls at his brother. "You did this to my daughter, you bastard." A panicked Teresa returns to Marlena in the penthouse upon discovering Tate's gone. Meanwhile, John shows up at the police station and learns from Rafe that Brady doesn't want a lawyer. When Rafe returns to Brady, he asks where Brady got the drugs and what they were. Brady says he doesn't remember because he was high. Rafe asks if a talk screen will prove that. Brady looks away. "Yeah, that's what I thought," Rafe says. Tate rushes in. Over Brady's protests, the teen says to Rafe, "I was the one who had the drugs like the officer said. If you're going to arrest someone, arrest me."